on any given night, anybody can step up. And, I don't think by any means we'll say that we played a great game tonight, but sometimes it's just about finding ways to win on the road.
And just your thoughts heading into the rest of the season? I mean, we're so young in the season. It's just like week 2, but it's a season unusual one because there'll be a break in the middle. But
well, sometimes you'd like to have, obviously our first 2 wins were large deficits, and so obviously to prepare for the playoffs, obviously it's early, but to prepare for the playoffs, you want to have close games like this and be able to execute down the stretch and get stops when we needed to, and we were able to do that. So, I think Coach Agler is definitely not going to be like, oh, we won, we don't need to look at film. We're going to go back and dissect probably every play, and see what we did wrong and hopefully learn from it.
So listen, Candice, have you seen the new ad in this stores around with this 20 years and at the Adidas shops and everything else?
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
It was neat. My daughter saw it for the first time, so I think that was more special to me. It's just to be in the mall and my daughter be like, oh, mommy, So it was really nice, and I'm really proud to represent Adidas and to be a part of that brand.
And it's in this 20-year season, any special things about this season?
I remember when the first season was played. I watched the first WNBA game, New York versus LA. So I remember that game, and obviously we've come a long way in the last 20 years, and to be playing in the Garden 20 years later, obviously we don't carry that lightly.
I know OT has always been a thing between New York and LA. Thank you.
And where do you see the WNBA in the next 20 years or 30 years?
Obviously it's the longest standing professional women's league in the States. So I think it's definitely got room to grow, but as pioneers of the game, we have to leave the game better than we came into it. And I think our generation is doing that. You look at the athleticism, the quickness, the skill level. Now some women are playing above the rim more. So I think the game is headed in the right direction.
Which areas do you think that this league needs to grow in order to be compared to the NBA or NFL?
Honestly, I think more girls that play basketball need to come to a WNBA game. It's amazing that how many girls that haven't been to a WNBA game and they aspire to play in the WNBA. So I think that's the biggest target and market is that, you have to cater to them and drive them to the games, because I think that's where the future is.